Hello. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. The Old School UFC card collector here with another episode. So today I thought I'd show you some booklets. I've got quite a few that I've acquired over recent years. Not a massive booklet collector, but I like dual autos. I like fight relics, and often these tick the boxes. So I thought I'd show you my modest collection, see what you think, and hopefully you'll find them interesting as I do. This channel, as I've said before, is all about promoting the collecting of UFC cards. It's a great hobby. There's some amazing people in the hobby, both in the US and in the UK. And I'm particularly interested in old school UFC cards. I think are unsurpassed. They're the best ever. And all the young guys like the modern fighters. And I've got a couple of those as well. But I really like the old school stuff. I think it's because that's when I got into the UFC myself, and they really appealed to me. Anyway, without further ado, the first card is a Bitter Rivals dual auto booklet featuring the GOAT, in most people's opinions, at the lighter weights, flyweight, which is Demetrius Johnson, and TJ Dillashaw, bantamweight. Interesting choice, this one, for tops to put together, because they never actually fought. But I think there's potential for them to do it at some time. Obviously, TJ was the bigger man, but I think I'd have lent towards DJ if I'd had to pick a winner. As I've said before, I really like the effort that Topps put into the old cards. Beautifully designed with the colour images. Number 2 of only 10. It's a shame it's a sticker and not on card, but still really attractive booklet. Shame that the relics don't come from any specific match or event, but I mean, they couldn't do because they didn't fight. But yeah, a really nice booklet to start us off. The next one I want to show you is a more modern card, actually. So I'm expecting great things of this guy, Peyton Tool, but I know he's had a setback already. He got beaten by just a more experienced guy, but he came back really well in the fight after that. And he's got a big fight coming up at UFC 332 against Davison Figueiredo. That, I think, will tell us a lot about him. Figueiredo's not what he was, but he's still no joke. So I had the chance to pick this up. I thought, yeah, you know what, I'm going to get one. So it's an autographed jumbo patch booklet from 2025 Topps Royalty. It's number 13 of 25. It's a shame there's so many. Typically for me, booklets, there shouldn't really be any more than 10, in my opinion. But I wanted a Peyton Toolwood booklet. Got that one at the right price. And yeah, I'm a fan. And I'm very much looking forward to see if he's continued his progression since his setback and how he handles Davison. I think he'll be quite a bit bigger than Figueiredo, and I think that will weigh in his favour. But we'll see what happens, eh? It's going to be an interesting fight, I think. The next one is not a duel, but it's a Champions booklet. And the reason I got this, there's only 3 of them, so it's super rare. And it's an authentic fight mat as well. And it's actually the mat from UFC 162, when he stunned the world and knocked out Anderson Silva, when he was fooling around, basically. Hands down, taunting Weidman, who when he was younger was formidable, and he had a tremendous left hook, a long, deceptive left hook. And even though Anderson was leaning back and thought he was out of range, it clipped him, knocked him down, and he got finished on the canvas. So there we are, it's written here. The mat relic contained in this card comes from the actual fight mat used at UFC 162. So it's a champion booklet from 2013, Bloodlines. I love the Bloodlines stuff. And yeah, number 1 of only 3. I got this for an absolute steal. So this was on eBay at $95, and I couldn't understand why nobody was bidding on it. I didn't know whether it was damaged or it had just been missed. And then I saw again that there's a problem in the listing. If I remember correctly, they hadn't put the letters UFC in the listing. and maybe that's why it didn't sell. But for $95, I don't know what's that, £75 in UK money, I thought, well, it's a one of three. It's the actual fight mat from an historic event when the title changed hands from an absolute legend, Anderson Silva, to Chris Weidman. And I thought, yeah, it's a champions booklet. I'm gonna have that, and I'm so glad I did. I've never seen one for sale since, and that was a steal for that price. And I think it's beautifully put together. And number one of only three. Next up is another dual auto, and this is Anthony Pettis, who I've said before is a favourite fighter of mine, incredibly talented, and Michael Chiesa. So this is Momentous Material Museum Collection from 2019. It's number 5 of only 5, and the relic contained on this card came specifically from UFC 226, and that is obviously when they both fought, and Pettis won by submission. Now Chiesa's no joke on the ground. He's really not. He's a very talented grappler and submission artist himself. I thought Pettis had knocked him out actually, but it was a sub. I can't remember if he knocked him down and submitted him, or whether it was a sub. Or maybe you should go back and watch that, the end of that fight again. Not the biggest names. I think Pettis is. Maybe you could argue Chiesa isn't, but it's such a beautiful card. Again, I love the fact that the relic is from the actual fight. I love the fact that there are only 10 of these cards, and I'm sorry, there's only 5 of these cards. This is number 5 of 5, and I thought, you know what, that is a beautiful card. I'm gonna pick that up. So I did. In the same set, very similar in design, if you look, is this one, which is Ben Askren and Ruthless Robbie Lawler. Again, it's Momentous Material Museum Collection from 2019. So again, it's out of 5. This is number 4 of 5. And this was a hugely controversial fight in which Lawler really beat Askren up for the first couple of minutes of the fight, had him on the floor, punching him really hard. I don't know how Askren took the damage he took. Eventually got back to his feet, got Robbie against the cage, if I remember, got him in a bulldog choke or a headlock of some sort. Herb Dean thought that Robbie had gone limp and stopped the fight. Lawler jumped up complaining, and I think Herb Dean knew straight away he made an error. Really exciting fight where it lasted, and I was a Lawler fan. I wanted him to win the fight, and I was gutted. I have to say though, since his horrendous illness, since his staph infection in his lung, which nearly took his life, I got nothing but admiration for the way Askren's come back from that and rebuilt his health. And I think he was in a wrestling match last month, which is just an unbelievable achievement. So a really nice card to have. Again, the relic is from the actual fight itself at UFC 235, and these museum cards are beautiful. I wish Topps would do them again. I think they're absolutely stunning. I've only got 2 from that set, but both very nice. As I said, I'm not mad on the booklets, but I've got a few, as you can see. Next up, I'm going to show you a couple of my memorable matchup cards. So the first one is Chris Lieben against Akiyama. This was quite an intense fight, as I remember, a bit of a war, and I think Akiyama just ran out of gas. Lieben was incredibly durable, hit very hard, and I think he wore him down and got on top of him, and I want to say he subbed him. I want to say he subbed him in the 3rd round, but I can't remember if it was a choke or it was something else. But a beautifully put together card. I love the octagon sort of shape. Authentic fighter worn relic is what it says. There's no more detail than that, other than what it says. Authentic fighter worn relic. And that is number 5 of 5. So a beautiful card. In the same set, I've got this one, which is Frankie Edgar and Gray Maynard. Now these are 3 fights together. The first one, Maynard won by decision. I think that was on a fight night, I seem to remember. So not a numbered, the case is quite scratched there actually. Not a numbered pay-per-view event. And then they had 2 absolute barn burners. The second fight of theirs was a split draw, but that doesn't tell the story. So round 1, I think Edgar was down 2 or 3 times, not from pillar to post. Absolutely incredible that he survived the way he did, and dominated towards the end of the fight, the last couple of rounds, to the point where from losing the first round, probably 10-7, he came out with a split draw. One of the best comebacks you'll ever see in your life, ever. Prime Edgar at the time, prime Maynard, fantastic matchup between the 2 of them. This is number 3 of 5, and you can see the style very, very similar to the Lieben and Akiyama card, and again authentic fighter worn relic. So great to have that one, and a memento of such an amazing fight. And then talking of amazing fights, in the same set, so this is another memorable matchups card. We've got Mauricio Shogun Hua against Dan Henderson. So these 2 fought twice. The first fight, Hendo won by KO in round 3, but the second fight was just a classic, a 5-round war of attrition. Both fighters dropped several times. Who were almost stopped a couple of times. Hendo had that H-bomb right hand landing repeatedly, and Shogun super durable, hung on and made it a 5-round classic. I believe Hendo got the decision at the end of the 5 rounds, but just an incredible back and forth battle, the second fight. If you've never seen it, treat yourself, get YouTube on one night, get yourself comfortable and watch an absolute brawl from back in the day when Hendo really was a fighter to be feared, and Mauricio Shogun Hua was just this Brazilian powerhouse, bigger than Henderson, as I remember, super durable, and a fight for the ages. So I've got 3 of these memorable matchup cards, all, as I've said, the same sort of style, and beautiful, just beautiful cards. Next up is a Bloodlines dual auto. Again, 2 fighters, a bit like earlier on, never fought each other. Benson Henderson and the Korean Zombie. This is a 2013 Bloodline card. Unfortunately, the relics don't come from any particular event, but it's just a really attractive card. I really like Bloodlines. Henderson, I haven't got many cards of his. I think I've got these 2 booklets that you've seen here. Korean Zombie, big fan of his. That's his full autograph, as you can see there. Chan Sung Jung, and yeah, what a great card to have. I really like the bright colours on that. I know it's not a matte relic from a fight. They never fought, as I understand it, but Henderson, I think, was too big as a lightweight. Zombie was a featherweight, but yeah, a really nice jewel. In the same set is a really interesting card for me. So this was the first dual auto I ever got, and it's an absolute banger. So I won this in a Raz, the first Raz I ever entered, beginner's luck, whatever you want to call it, and I won this. I think it was for $10. Hoist Gracie, his brother Henzo Gracie, on a Bloodlines booklet. These are numbered to 10, actually I should have said. So the other one was number 6 of 10, and this one is number 9 of 10. And got the 2 Gracie brothers on there, a Bloodlines card. Doesn't matter that the relics aren't from any match. Obviously they didn't fight one another, But a beautiful, stunning card. Got the Brazilian flag behind them both. The two brothers on a card, and an important card for me because it was my first dual auto, and I really fell in love with duals after that. I've got 40 or 50 or 60 dual autos now, I would say, old school UFC, but this was the one that started it all. This was the very first one, and it's a favourite card for that reason. And the fact that I couldn't believe my luck. Brandon ran the duel, this is 3 or 4 years ago, and I won it. And the card arrived as promised, and my obsession with old school UFC cards, dual autos, Hoist Gracie, really accelerated on from that point. So very, very happy to have this card. There are more in this set. I know there are. I've never really gone chasing them because you can't have everything, but I really wanted a Gracie card. In fact, it means that much to me. I'm going to put that one up on the stand. Okay, so I've only got a couple left now. I did say I haven't got a huge number of booklets, so this is going to be a shorter video than usual, but let me show you what else I've got. So these 5 are all in the same set. So these are Finest Fighters Dual Auto Relic Book Card from 2013 Topps Finest. The first one is Cormier and Rockhold. Cormier heavyweight, Rockhold at the time middleweight. Obviously they didn't fight each other. But a really nice card. You've got the silver effect, you've got the shadow image in the background of each fighter, and only 10 made. This is number 3 of 10, and just a really, really attractive booklet. Doesn't matter to me that they didn't fight. It's a rare card, it's old school UFC, and it's a dual auto, so it was a card I really wanted. I've got 4 more out this set. I'm guessing there's 10, but I don't know for sure. I know there's one with the 2 Diaz brothers on, which would be an absolute grail for me. They occasionally come up for sale. They're now up in the $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 range. The Diaz dual, which is too much for me to pay for a card. But you never know. One day I might find one or others in the set. So that's one of them. I've got 4 more in this set, including a couple of really big cards. The next one isn't the biggest, but it's part of the same set. We've got Gilbert Melendez, Benson Henderson. You can see the design is the identical. You've got the silver and the ghostly sort of image in the background. You can see Henderson dropping a massive kick there, and that is number 6 of 10 cards. And again, it's part of that exact same set. Finest Fighters Dual Auto Relic Book Card from 2013 Topps Finest. And I've said it before, but just the effort that they used to put in Topps, their cards, just absolutely beautiful. In hand, it looks even more impressive. The case is a little bit scuffed up, but the card looks immaculate. It's a beautiful card. And the silver and the bright patches, I think, just look beautiful. So really, again, very lucky, very happy to have that card. The third of the 5, which I suppose is again not a monster card, but I really like the fact that Overeem's on this card, along with Pat Barry. So 2 heavyweights. This is number 7 of 10, exactly the same design style with the ghost images in the back. I should know that these 2 fought. I think they did, but I can't recall the fight. And I should have done my research before this video, I suppose, but I wasn't sure exactly which booklets I was going to show, so I just grabbed a stack of them. But they must have fought. I'll have to have a look. Sorry if it's driving you mad as you're watching this, shouting out the obvious answer, but I generally can't remember whether they fought or not. And they must have done. I know the other 2 that I've showed you Well, those two definitely didn't fight. You know what? I'm ashamed to say, I don't know whether Melendez or Henderson fought. I think they did. I think they must have fought. But I don't know. I honestly don't know. I can't recall all the cards. I can't remember all the fight cards. But it's a card I'm very, very proud to own. So the last two, yes, I've saved the best two for last as regards this set. The first one for me is a super important card. It's Randy and Chuck. Two of the all-time GOATs for me, the original OGs. They had 3 tumultuous fights together. Even the ink on the older cards looks better. It's got like this black sort of tint to it, which is just absolutely stunning. And you've got Randy and Chuck. So fight 1, Chuck was the man. He was an unbeatable, unstoppable monster. Was expected to knock Couture out. Randy weathered the early storm, wore Chuck down, got on top of him. I think it was a full mount for a TKO. I want to say round 3. Might have been round 2, but I think it was round 3. And just pummeled him from the full mount. It was a massive shock at the time. Absolutely spectacular stoppage win for Couture. And just cemented his legacy and his legend. And obviously set up their repeat fights. The second fight was a quick KO for Chuck. He landed his big right hand. It was the first time Randy had ever been knocked out. And that was revenge for Chuck Liddell, and set up their trilogy fight, the third fight shortly after, which was a bit of a replica. It went into the second round, so it wasn't a first round TKO. I think Randy got a couple of takedowns in the first round, probably stole the round, and then Chuck again landed that big right hand in the second round and ended the fight. That was Randy's last fight, I seem to remember. I think he retired immediately after that fight. And Chuck won the trilogy, but 2 just incredible fighters. And some of the stuff that Randy did against much bigger men at heavyweight, like Tim Sylvia, was just incredible. So this was at light heavyweight. And yeah, a beautiful, beautiful card to own. Very, very proud of that one. And a proper old school card. The final one and the 5th in that set is John Jones and Chael Sonnen. So again, light heavyweights. They fought for the title. Jones was the champ. Chael was really just a big middleweight who stepped up, and it was a round 1 finish for Jones. It looked quite straightforward. He got him against the fence, was really battering him. But interestingly, if you look at the tapes, if you watch it back, at the end of the fight, Jones' big toe on one of his feet was almost ripped off. There's this horrendous injury, which it either got caught in the cage or at the side of the cage or in a kick. I don't know. But if they'd have come out for round 2, if he hadn't stopped Chael at the end, and he literally stopped him in the last 20 or 30 seconds of the first round, if he hadn't done that, there's no way they'd have let him out for round 2. And Chael would have been awarded a TKO victory, and they'd have had to fight again when his toe healed. So he got the finish in the first round, as many people predicted, and that was it. Really beautiful card. Any Jones card is autos collectible, especially the old stuff. And on a dual auto such as this one, it's number 7 of 10. It's a really stunning card to own. So there we are, a slightly shorter video today. I wanted to show you some of my booklet autos. I hope you enjoyed seeing those collections. My next video will either be the patriotic patches. So I've got a beautiful collection of those building now. They're the numbered ones to 25. I don't collect the non-numbered patriotic patches. I've got a large collection of them I could show, or I've got a mail day coming in 4 or 5 days time from the USA. I might show that. Either way, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Old school is the best for me, and I hope as you watch these videos and see these cards, you'll appreciate them as much as I do. So happy hunting, thanks for watching, and I'll see you at the next one. Bye for now.